Hello everyone, I'm back. Yeah, I finally cleaned up the back, the mess of this quilt. Everything's cleaned up. There's no thread here, or there's no, let me move you here. There's no more thread. I know I left you, and what I did is let me see if I can get my other camera. Try not to be chaotic now. I unthreaded all the eyelashes that were on the long arm or on the quilt top. I'm also going to kind of tighten the tension because I've created a little bit of a dip on the quilt. I'm going to show you here what that looks like. And I'm also going to bring this camera to you so you can see how nice. Hopefully you can hear me. I think I have the volume set well. So here you can see that everything is cleaned up. There's no more, well, there's a little bit of thread from where I did it. I also went on the back of the quilt, on the very back of the quilt, and so there's little tiny threads. Maybe I need to do this here, but let me get it all. So you see that, is there eyelashes there? Yeah, but I think this is where I started quilting. So, oh, I have tweezers. Eyelash tweezers. So you can see, how many tweezers is a blessing? Is it showing? And I went through the whole quilt. I even went on the back of the quilt, on the very back right there, and I cleaned it from underneath. Yes, everything's working out. Praise the Lord. This is pretty much an easy fix, but it's a pain to fix. But anyway, I was just sharing that I cleaned it all up, and I'm going to show you before what my what happened to my bobbin. I haven't moved anything. So I'm going to move my bobbin. Get it out of the way here. And I'm going to show you, this is how my bobbin was. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I could put it on this camera. Come on. So I got these eyelashes because the thread was not, come on, focus. The thread was not hooked to the hook to this. So if you end up doing this, the lesson is I didn't hook it to here. So it long-armed while the thread was in the middle, and so there was no tension on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I do that right. And that's why I like having it clockwise, because the thread goes down. Man, can I get you? The thread goes down. So let me show you. The thread goes down, and then it hooks in, and it hooks on this assembly, and it doesn't unhook on you. But because I was showing clockwise and counterclockwise, I guess I didn't hook it on assembly, and the thread was out here, and there was no tension, and that's why I had those eyelashes. So I'm going to move you here so that you can see me. Ugh, no. Let's see if I could pan out and do what I wanted to. Pan out. Thank you. Okay, so I didn't have it into this little hook area where you normally hook your bobbin, and that's why I had those eyelashes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back on the long arm, and I'm going to go ahead and move this way so that you could see. I have cleaned everything up, and then also too, I recommend when you're doing this is when you hook it into the long arm, pull it a little bit and you'll feel the tension, and you know you got tension. So I'm going to go back. Ugh. And I literally said, do not remove anything until you go back onto the live so that you can see why it did what it did. There was no tension on the bottom. And so if you don't have no tension on the bottom, the top tension made those eyelashes because there was nothing for it to hook. It was just pulling the thread in. So anyway, let me get the long arm to reset itself, and hopefully we could do row 3, and hopefully we could be done with this quilt, and hopefully, praise the Lord, in Jesus' name, we're going to pray blessings on this. Ask Jesus to give me mercy so that I can have it done for my client. And I did clean underneath and the top. I went and I rolled it, and I went through a whole lot of thread. It's a thread dump. It's a brand new bobbin. I should literally just put a brand new bobbin, and you could see that it wasted tons of thread. So I'm going to start. Come on, Mama. We're going to work today. We're going to do a good job. And back. I want to make sure that the long arm is back in line. Oh, I need a thread that has a needle. Okay, stop. Hi, Lorena. We're going to do good. It's going to be a good day. After this, I'm going to go eat lunch. And oh my God, I told myself as a reward, I'm going to eat some tacos de la calle from one of my favorite restaurants. And they're, I don't know, what is it? Carne asada with some other meat. Cheese, frijoles. It's not a diet meal. It's like just in that meal, it's probably like 1,200 calories, your daily calorie allowance. But I'm all right with it because, you know, the stress of this. I deserve it. Okay, so here. No. Come on, little machine. That's not what you're going to start. Hold on, I'm going to get it to work. And I'm going to get to do what I say. All right. Pass forward. Why is it going there? Forward. No. I need a new spot. Forward. There we are. So I'm also making sure right now, and I'll show you here, I'm making sure right now that I'm aligning it because no. I want to make sure that I quilt everything. Pick a spot. Forward. I can't find alignment. Lorena. Jesus, take the view. All right, hold on. Let me find alignment on the computer. Because originally, no. Trying to make sure. Cancel. Come on. You know your job. What I want the long arm to do is go in the last position. And so at this current time, okay, I think I got it. And I need to move the quilt because I've been messing with it. The fabric has like flexibility. So I need to align the last stitch to where the old stitch is. So yeah, this is just, so come on, grab, pull. And it also kind of like, because I was leaning on it, there is this, come on, baby girl. There you are. I'm just going to let you work. Do your job, girlfriend. All right. There's tension. I'm going to let it long arm, and then I'm going to let you see it's okay. And I'll show you something that even if I got it in a good place of placement, it's sometimes hard because I've been shifting the quilt. I've been working on moving things around the way I did. I moved this over and I pushed it down, and it also flexed it this way. So when I realigned or restarted the stitch, I started perfectly, and then it shifted on me. So I'm going to unstitch that stitch to here, and then lock it down so that it doesn't unstitch on her. Ooh, that's beautiful. And I don't want to lean on the quilt, because as you, up, come on. Because as you lean on the quilt, you're also moving the thread line. And so I'm going to leave everything, and I'm going to share with where I'm talking. I'm going to unstitch this. And then since there's so many beautiful stitches there, I'm going to leave that alone. But I am unstitching this because it's like a stitch that it doesn't go anywhere or do anything. And now you can see how beautiful she's quilting. Then I thought I hit then after this we get to do row 3, and we're almost done. Hey, well, I guess it's a blessing that you could see. Yeah, that was stupid, but it happens. All right, I also wanted to share with you, like, you guys were asking me about the tension, and whoever asked me the question may not be here currently, but it's okay. I'm just going to still explain it. Don't do that at all. That was done. Make sure that your long arm is in the hook assembly, or the long arm. Make sure your thread is in your bobbin case, or you're going to have to deal with what I just dealt with. All right, hold on. Let me get another bobbin case, or bobbin. Put it on the floor, I guess. I don't know. All right. So you can see how beautiful, wait, no, the thread looks. I'm going to move you here so you can see it. Look how beautiful. Maybe you can't see it. I was trying to watch one of my live streams. These are 1080 quality cameras. I don't know about that. Also too, when I know I'm going to be stitching an area, I get a pin. Look at the thread. Oh, hold on. This went through. Hold on, I'm trying to, while I'm doing this, I'm trying to clean. Come work with Lorena and see things not go right. And I also think it's my attention span. I'm busy focusing on y'all because I don't want to be rude. So let me show you the thread again, how beautiful it looks now that the long arm is done. No, stop. Nope. Thank you. Sometimes this program is just, all right. I'm going to move the camera. And then I may show you in the back. I did clean the back up to try to make sure that there was no thread in the back. But see how fast that quilted? So what, in less than 5 minutes? Less than 5. All right. Let me show you the thread. This is how beautiful the quilting is. The only problem I feel like I have is I'm going to have to unstitch that to where I get to this, and I'm going to lock it down. And so I may just roll the quilt and keep on going, and I could fix that. And then I'll roll the quilt and let you see what the back looks like, because as I roll it, I am also going to have to clean all the thread if I have a mess of thread in the back of the long arm. So let me go ahead and unclamp the machine. Let me unclamp you. Let me get my program set up the way it's supposed to be set up. I do not use the machine to realign the designs. I manually realign them myself. And one of the tricks I found is that where it is, it's here, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so I'm gonna roll the quilt, and I'm gonna move you back a little bit so you can see a little bit better. I have a camera on the floor. Maybe I could show you too. Maybe this is a better camera. Let me show you on this camera the thread, the quality of the quilting now. I remember a long time ago, I saw somebody, they were doing a custom quilt for someone, and they had eyelashes on the back of the quilt, and they were mad because they did not want to fix it. So here I am. Hold on. It won't show. Hold on. Almost got it again. But it looks beautiful. I'm glad that got taken care of. It's pressure. All right. So I'm going to show you. No, forget it. This camera is a piece of crap. I'm going to roll the quilt. I got a camera so that it has beautiful quality, but it keeps going black. And if I purchase another one of these cameras, it's really expensive. Like $2,000. So hold on, let me move you here. I say it's you, but it's really the camera that I'm moving. But it's still you. All right. Come on. There you go. No. See how you're playing me? 2 in 1 a day? Yeah. Because I'm fixing the quilt that I screwed up. I'm rolling, I'm on row 3 now. I just quilted I feel like I should come back and not leave you guys hanging when something goes wrong. I think that's rude. I think that's messed up. So usually if something goes wrong, I want to share it, even though it's not like, it doesn't showcase me very well, but it's all right. What matters is that the quilt is going to be done right. Some people worry too much about how, like their appearance or whatever. What just happened? There you are. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and clean this up. And I'm going to show you the back. I cleaned up a whole bunch of the thread in the back, but the back is just as important as the front. Am I going to meet my deadline, y'all? Am I going to meet my deadline? Yes, I'm going to meet my deadline. If not, I'll take her the quilt. That's the neat thing about having really great clients, and that's why I get, sometimes I rather not deal with hard clients, because stuff like this, they would get very upset about and take it very personal, like I'm personally attacking them. And if you have a really sweet client that's patient with you, because you can't, like, I woke up this morning thinking everything was going to go smooth, and you can't control everything, even though I want to try. you really can't control everything that goes on, even though it would be nice to say that you can. So I'm going to just love on her, rub her down. And I tend to trim the batting as I go so that I don't have a bulk on the long arm. But I think my client's going to love this quilt. And I have this quilt on the horizontal, if you notice. It's not on the vertical. The less you roll, the better. Sometimes this is what kills time, not the long arming. This, getting the fabric right, getting the fabric to sit right, making sure that you pull the back fabric enough, making sure you don't have no pleats in the back. Also making sure that you put the bobbin in right would be nice. That would be good. Let's see. I think it had 4 rows. Okay, we're good. Ta-da! I love the cats. And honestly, having a quilt this pretty makes worth the hassle. But I'll bring you in the back so that you can see that I also may still need to clean up the thread in the back of the long arm or the quilt top, so that my client will not know what happened. I may tell her, but she doesn't need to know. I didn't tear a hole in her quilt. Where are my glasses? All right, hold on. Come on, let's put you in here. Sorry, I'm trying to focus and put the thread in the eye of the needle. And I lost my readers currently. I don't know where I put them. I need readers now. Man, I wish I didn't need them. I don't need them. Well, yeah, I do. Hold on, let's see. Let me get you to see me in a different angle. It's kind of hard. This client doesn't look at my YouTube channel, so. And then by the time she has the quilt, she's not gonna, if she does watch this video, she's not gonna, she will not even be able to find what happened. And I think that says a lot, like that you're a professional. I had this client was going to another person. Well, originally she went, oh, I have 4 rows. She went to another long armor, or another lady who did long arm quilting. And the reason she walked away from her is that she had pleats all over her quilt. Isn't that funny? And then here I quilted a quilt and it had pleats all over the quilt. So that was just, but the lady who had pleats all over the quilt, she didn't fix them. And she let her just take the quilt the way it was. And I don't think that's fair to anybody to take a quilt that way. Let me see. I'm going one more measurement. And so I think right here. So I knew that no matter what happened, that I had to make sure that the quilt that I had that had the pleats, that I fixed them, and I would always fix them. I can't imagine a long armor having pleats on a client's quilt, and it's crazy the long arm quilting community, the top makers, they're so obsessed with having a beautiful, pristine, well sewn quilt top. And then you have a long armer who doesn't care. Hold on, let me measure this. Who doesn't care if she has pleats, the quilt tops that she quilts for a client. She doesn't care if they have pleats. 45. Hold on. I may do something real quick. Stop. Stop. This is 19. Height is 19. Okay, so let me shrink this a little bit. Let's go, sister. What I'm doing right now, it's making sure that each row is the same length. So I'm going to do 4 rows, and I want to make sure this last row is pretty much the same as the last length so that it looks consistent. I don't want to have to trim off. All right, so, but yeah, there's some long armers that will not fix mistakes. But I'm going to bring you in the back so that you see if I have any thread in the back there, okay? So let me move the camera first, and then as I move the camera, I could show ya. Doing it, yeah. And I also think like this is, I have a beautiful room, I have a beautiful machine, but I don't know what happened. Here's the back, okay? One of the things that I'm making sure right now, oh, and I also am showing you the mirror. This is the mirror, and it's in an angle. This is what makes it go in an angle. I'm also going to check the back. So I'm also going to check back here and make sure that there's no threads from the unstitching. It's beautiful. She's beautiful. And there is an unthread right there. And let me show you how, sorry I'm moving you, but this is how the mirror looks. You can literally see if there's any pleats on the bottom. And I hope I sound good. Okay. We were talking about bobbin and bobbin tension. Let me move you here. I'm sorry I'm moving you so much. That's the top. Let's go back to the topic at hand. And let me check before I go somewhere else, make sure that the thread looks beautiful. Yeah, she's lovely. Okay, so let me move you over here. By the way, did I say thank you that you're here with me? It makes it so much more fun when you screw up, because you're not alone doing it. Well, I'm still alone, but you guys are with me. All right, I'm gonna move you here. We were talking about tension earlier. Okay. Let me drink some water. Hopefully you can still hear me good. Sound is great. Thank you for telling me. That's gonna be the thing. How's my sound? I should put it on my shirt and vinyl a shirt. How's my sound? Not funny, but I think it's funny. Okay, hold on. All right, let's see. We were talking about tension. Someone asked me any suggestions on tension. So let's start over, okay? Because now I could kind of not worry about the machine because I know I got it right. All right, I'm going to bring you down. All right, look, it moves. Okay. Well, look at, she's beautiful, long army, doing her job. I talked about the tension Tova. I talked about the Tova. I recommend it. I also recommend that you get a winder that, I love my Anova winder. It's just like a switch system. It has an L bobbin and M bobbin, so it's real versatile. Now I need to put a bobbin thread on the bobbin. Hold, I'll be back. Let you watch. Man, distractions. Can't do my job. All right. So earlier I showed you that I have bobbin genies that I put with my bobbins. Let me see. Come on, Lorena. There it is. Here, I'm going to show you. Come on, camera, focus. Autofocus? Well, then autofocus, please. It doesn't want autofocus. Okay. Let me remove autofocus. It's not. Why is. Okay. So I use a bobbin genie. You could buy these on Amazon. They have them for regular sewing machines and they have them for long arm quilting. I think this is an M bobbin, right? So I put it in, and then earlier I was telling you about how you thread it inside the case. I thread it with the case down and it rotates clockwise for me. Well, for me it is clockwise. And right now I'm making sure it's in that stupid hook, because what happened before is I didn't hook it or unhook when I put it in, and it was just hanging free here, and that's why I had those eyelashes. So I was sharing that. So let's go back to the long arm. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back in. I'm sorry. I want to make sure that you guys could see me well. Let me move you here again. Have mercy on me, Lord. Hopefully it'll follow me. Hopefully. Hi. I'm going to hook it on because I need to get this quilt done. And when I put it in the hook assembly, and when I put it inside where the long arm, where it's supposed to go, I also kind of pull the thread a little bit so that I know that there's tension. I should have done that before so I could kind of make sure that I wasn't going to deal with what I was dealing with. Is that back? So I'm going to start here, restart you. And then when you pull up the bobbin thread, make sure you drag it a little bit so that you could feel that tension. I should have done that, and I wouldn't have had the mess that I had. Let me move the long arm up. But you know, okay, but I have another, okay, let me bring you here. Do I have the bobbin genie? Let me get a bobbin genie. Where did I put them? I don't know where I put them. Sorry. Sorry. Hopefully I'll come and bring you hi. Here we are. These are the bobbin genies I was sharing. I was also sharing before all that stuff happened is that Gamel has a, I don't even know the name right now, inside the bobbin case, and I snapped it out. I thought that, you know, if you're doing something manufacturer wise that you should keep doing it the same way. But I saw a video from Sharon Chamber. Sharon Chamber also put more, what is it, guides, thread guides on the long arm. She literally got cement glue and cemented it to her red long arm to have better guide systems, because that guide system also affects your tension. And I haven't done that because I found that this really works for me. So you have the Bobbin Genie, and I was sharing also the aluminum bobbin. And so the thumb rule is, if you have a thinner thread, you tighten your bobbin case. If you have a thicker thread, you loosen. So this is a very medium to, I think this is a thinner thread, the King Tut. I think this is called Omni. And you use this to, and only change one variable at a time when you're doing your tension. So when I first started, I would be switching the top, and then I would switch the bottom, and I'm sorry I have a mess in here, but I would switch the top tensioner on the machine, switch the tension on the bottom, and I would just, and then I didn't know where to start. I would get really confused with my tension. So I recommend set your tension, manufacturer tension for the top of your machine, and have it set, and only change this variable, the tension on this. Only change that. And what I've learned for myself is that I like, and it doesn't matter, to be honest, what number you have on here. It does not matter. I can move this here. Okay, I'm gonna move you here. I'm moving everything. I'm trying to make it visibly appealing, and you don't see my bit. La la la. You didn't see any of this. My space is perfect. Liar. Okay, so when you pull this, it doesn't matter what the number is. At one time, my number was 200, and currently my number is 300. And the reason it doesn't matter is whatever the top tension is, this you could change very easily. Instead of fiddling on your top, like it's the, you don't want to mess around with your jump spring, and then you don't want to mess with that weird tensioner over there. Now, if I have this set and I want a little bit more tension, I will remove the tension from the loops. But my tension currently, for me to have that beautiful, where you want the bobbin, you want the bottom thread and the top thread to hook in the middle. And so you have a beautiful top tension and you have a beautiful bottom tension. And so what my recommendation is, just, come on, go out. Do what I say, machine. Go out. So it doesn't matter. I'm being honest, this doesn't matter. Your number doesn't matter. But currently, there was a time where my sweet spot, where the top tension and the bottom tension, top thread and bottom thread, that's where it hooked perfectly together. At one time, this had to be at 200. I've changed the top tension some. Let me get it to move. I've changed the top tension some. So the top is a little bit looser for me currently. So I need to have this a little bit tighter. Does that make sense? So I just pull, and one of the factors about tension is having a continuous, not a flapping line. You want a continuous line. And then let me show you a book. I have this beautiful book. So let me tighten it, because I'm gonna get this thread. So I always have one of these available to tighten that corner. And so what I recommend is have your tension set have a scrap piece of fabric, set your tension to what you think it is, right? Quilt a little bit, loosen the fabric, look underneath, look on top, and I'll show you this book. Where are you? And fiddle with this. And it's just like a smidge of a torque, or set this as your constant and just torque a little bit the top, and then just turn it, and then long arm a little bit more, and then do sharp turns. If you have eyelashes on the top or the bottom, that means you need to tighten the bottom tension, or you need to tighten the top tension, or you need to loosen it. And so just kind of only change one thing. Don't change the top and then change this, and then that will drive you crazy. Keep either this as your constant, or whatever you have on your tensioners on your machine constant, and only change one thing. And so what I'll do, especially when I'm doing custom quilting and I'm using a like so fine thread, the other day I ended up quilting, I was custom quilting one of my panels, and I was using a very metallic thread, and so the thread kept popping, so that means I needed to lighten the tension on the thread, on the check spring and all. I needed to lighten it. I even unlooped one of it so it would follow through and go smoothly and stop breaking. Also too, if your thread, when you're pulling it through the needle, if it's curling, that means that your tensioners are too tight as it travels. So loosen that and then tighten this. So anyway, so I use metallic thread on the top, and I use the regular white thread on the bottom, and the thread kept popping, and so I just changed it a little bit, quilted a little bit more, kept popping. Once it stops popping, then you know the top tension is good and it's not breaking your thread. So I guess what I'm trying to say is work on one thing at a time, but I think doing tension on a machine can be very confusing, because you're like, well, I switch this and I move this button and just, it's really little tiny small changes will be what helps, like, you get that sweet spot. And get scrap thread fabric, scrap thread that you don't care about, and I recommend you get a white thread at the top or a red and a white at the bottom, so that you can see how the tension looks. And then you'll get to a point where you just get it and it's perfect. But be real patient and just work on one variable. So like this is a constant variable for me, so it has to be at 300 now, and my top is this on the long arm. I leave it, right now it's looser at the top because I was using metallic thread like I said, and so I had to tighten my bottom a little bit more for it to be level, for it to like hook perfectly in the center. And it's really hard, to be honest, if you're using variegated thread, because you'll see little dots, little tiny dots on the top of the and that doesn't mean that your tension is bad. It's just with gamma, that is a thing. Those little pokies, they call them pokies. But recommend these, recommend the Tova, and I recommend the winder. And I also recommend these Bobbin genies. If you have, try them on your gamma. Try them on, well, I have a gamma, so it works on the gamma. I'm sure it will work on all the gammas. The guy who went and fixed my long arm, he got upset with me because I do not use the check springs. Now I remember the word. And I said, I quilted something for him, and I'm like, and he was like, oh. You know, and if it, whatever, you don't have to keep it the way they made it. Hi Betty, how are you? I'm doing good. Earlier I screwed up something, but I fixed it, so it's good. Hi Wendy. I thank you for making it, Betty. Nana, I want to send you something, girlfriend. I found somebody on Etsy that's from Canada. I'm going to find you. You won't message me. Yes, you finally caught another live. I owe you a quilt. Yes, clients just want you to know what you're doing, pretty much. I'm so glad it helps. Seriously. I even think what I'm going to do is maybe do shorts on like skinning the calf, like unstitching a quilt. I think I should have done a short on like fixing. I may like do the mistakes on one of my fabrics and then do like little tutorials or little shorts, or maybe do a whole full video on this is how you fix this, this is how you do with this. Let me see. Wendy, it's okay. I'm glad you guys are here. And then sometimes you guys don't get the videos right away, and so you watch later. I'm okay with that too. I'm all right with that too. As a matter of fact, sometimes because it's so chaotic with this is chaotic for me. Sometimes I watch the video and I'm like, Lorena. So today I was like, I got the camera. It just things don't go the way I want them to. I want to be a professional. One day. I also think that this is maybe what is it? You know how some people have a style? They have a certain type of style. Maybe this is my style. I'm just fumbling through. All right, let me bring you to the long arm, okay? I'm going to move you. Oh. Let me see if I could get you higher so that you can see this better. Not working. Okay, hold on, one more. Let's see. I have one more row after this. Can you imagine? One more row. I started at 10 and it's 12:30, and hopefully my client doesn't call me. Well, maybe she will. Maybe she already has. Let me see. Has my client already called me? I took a picture of the pokies. Hold on. No, she hasn't messaged me. I still have some time. Still have time. Praise the Lord. So here we go. Let me see. I'm sorry it's so chaotic. I really am sorry. I really just... Maybe if I didn't share that it was chaotic, you guys wouldn't even notice. But yeah. Let me move you here so you can see. All right, let me move you right now. La 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 la. I have also too, I wound 4 bobbins for this. I wanted to show you. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to undo it. I think this is, sorry. Why does it have that? I think this is one of the best bobbin winders. I got one and I loved it so much that I got 2. Let me share it with you. It's an Innova bobbin winder. It has an L bobbin and an M bobbin. So if you're just a regular sewer and you hate winding your bobbins, I used to have one of them downstairs for my sewing, for my regular sewing. and I decided that I needed it up here more than I needed it down there. But you could literally switch this. It has a different, where's it? It has another foot of these for L and M. I love this thing. Now, for some reason, it's not tightening, and I don't know. It's not locking down. Maybe I'm not sitting it right. I don't know. But anyway, this is the best. I love it. I recommend if you're looking for a bobbin winder in your long armor. And let me be clear, I have a winder on the long arm, and I have a winder. Gamel gave me a winder, and the winder on the long arm is okay. It sometimes winds, and then it stops winding, and then it winds, and it stops winding, and you're like having to manage it a lot. This, you literally put the thread in, the bobbin, and you start it. Let me clean it because it has this weird stickiness, and it just works. And you could ask Innova to set up the tension for you, because I'm lazy when it comes to that stuff. I really, so when I bought the winder at the Houston Quilt Show at the Innova booth, I asked them, can you please just set it up for me so that I could just unplug it and plug it back, and they did, and it winds the bobbin perfectly. Meaning it's perfectly, well, I'll even show you. It winds bobbins perfectly. It doesn't have, and I love this winder. And it doesn't matter, so I'll even show you this, so as you're winding your bobbin throughout the bobbin, so like this one, you have I don't know if you can see it, kind of like a low spot and a high spot, a thicker spot, a low spot. And I had to kind of fix something there. But you could barely see like that there's a low spot here, and then it's higher here, so it wound more up here. But if you look at the way it winds, and every kind of, as it's taken in, it's all consistent. And if you want good tension, like this one has it thicker at the top, thinner, like less thick at the bottom. But you look how beautiful it wound that one. And look how beautiful it winds. These are beautifully. And as it's going on the long arm, and the long arm is pulling the thread from the bobbin case, and it's long arming, you can see it's consistent all the way through. I think this also was a game changer for me when I got this bobbin winder. It really kind of helped me a lot. Thank you, Betty. I'm trying to lose more weight. I need to lose another 50 pounds, y'all. Pray for me. I need to lose another 50 pounds. I would thought, yeah. But I'm going to go eat today. After this, I'm going to go munch it. I was telling everybody, because this messed up, that I was going to go to one of my favorite taco places. Let's see. There it is. I also decided that my granddaughter, I love black, okay? I love black clothes. This is it's not my favorite color. My favorite color is purple, burgundy, or royal blue, purple, okay? And I'm not set on any color, but those are like colors that I really like. I gravitate to. Like, I love this quilt. And my granddaughter goes, Grandma, why do you always wear black? And I go, it's my favorite color. It makes me look slimmer. It's slimming. Okay, so let me get her going. Let's see. I'm going to roll her. And this client really did a beautiful quilt. unsew. No, I don't know what you're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch this down, and then I'll come in and look at all your questions. Come on. I talked to the Gamel. They told me that I need to download the updated program. Apparently, in this community, they were telling us that you could not get your updated program through Gamel. And it wasn't Gamel, okay, y'all? Unless you bought a brand new computer, and their computer was $1,700. So to me, like, no, I'm not gonna, my system works just fine. Until it crashes, I'm not spending $2,000. But here in Texas, they were saying, come on. There it is. In Texas, they were saying that you had to pay for a brand new computer that cost $1,700, and it had the updated program, and then shipping and tax. So I think it would come out to $2,300. And I told them, no way. Heck no. Especially when my computer's still good, right? So just recently, I talked to the Gamel technician because the belt in the back messed up on me, and I thought maybe my motor went out, but I wasn't sure what happened. And so he looked at my program and he said, Lorena, you need to update it. So if you ever have program problems, so sorry. If you ever have program problems, we could help you. And I told him I'm not going to do that. And he's like, why? And I said, because I'm not spending $1,700 on a computer when I already have a system that still works. And he goes, we're what? He didn't know, and here in Texas, that's how we were being scammed. Yeah, that was a lie. You could download the program as long as you had a computer that had the specs that they expected. But anyway, so yeah, that was fun. It was neat to know. So I may change my program, but I'm scared to change my program because you know when you already have something down and you already know how to work it, why would you change it? Why would you change your way of working? And then I don't think the program's going to be that difficult to learn, but thank God I don't have to pay $1,800 no more. Or whoever was saying that was lying, and they just were trying to get you to buy a computer when you didn't have to. Yeah, because they wouldn't even let me update. I kept saying, well, I want to update, and they're like, no, you can't. You have to buy the computer. But Gamel, I guess, he said they never did that. But that's a blessing, right? Come on, thread. Trying to thread. All right, hold on one more second, okay, guys? And then I'll read your comments. And I also think that I may do the block swap in June. I don't know if you guys are interested in doing that. Someone was asking me if I'm still going to do it, and the answer is yes. The only thing is this month I am going to be traveling a bit. Maybe this month or at the end of May. I'm not sure. I'm going to be traveling. I think I need a little bit higher. There it is. So I'm going to be traveling, so I don't want to be doing the block swap. Well, maybe I could organize it while I'm in the car for 10 hours. That would be insane, right? How beautiful. And then but honestly, I love being home. I love my life. We went on a trip this year and I missed home. Traveling is not that fun. Let me move it down. Girl. One more check, okay, guys? Hope you guys can see me. One more check, one more check. One more check. All right, we got it. Then I'm going to trim this batting. Batting. And I'm going to make sure that I did that bobbin right. All right. Let me move you. Let me see what y'all is saying to me. Comments. Hold on. Hold on. Look at that. Focus. Trying to make this focus. Press to adjust. Press what to adjust? All right, hopefully I got it. So you guys can see over here. See the long arm. Sorry. All right, let's see. Hold on, let me see. In a minute, I'm gonna have to trim that quilt. I think it is a cat panel, yes. No, it's a cat panel. As a matter of fact, I think it's the same people. I'm not a fabric. My favorite fabric is batik, okay? So I'm not really into like name stuff. But let me show you, I think I have I think this is who created. I'm looking at my fabrics, trying to see. Let me move you here so you see that. I think it's this creator who created that fabric. Hold on, I'm coming. It's this person. It's this, come on. You can read it. Let me see. Laurel Birch. Laurel Birch. I bought this years ago. Years. Years. I love this fabric. Aww. I should do something with it. Look, it's so beautiful. It has horses and birds on this side, and then I think on this side it has horses, but it's Laurel Birch. I think that is who created those panels. I think I had a cat one years ago, but it was it was not as pretty as that panel. But yeah, let me see. So what are you guys working on? Talk to me. That's what a live is for. I want, please talk to me. Share what I'm working on. Oh, I think I did, when I did a live stream the other day, I shared all the quilts that I had been working on. I had long-armed 9 quilts of my own. Someone was talking about how many quilts they have. I recommend that if you work for people and you're a long armer, one of the hardest things is to motivate yourself to even quilt your own quilt. I recommend you put it on, like, for example, this is a client's quilt. Right now, I'm going to put back fabric on a quilt, or I may make back fabric so that I could, like, get one of my quilts on there. And you're working on free motion quilting. I love that. Keep practicing. I want to, I think I have a couple quilts. Last year I did a challenge on how, like, I was going to do a quilt a month. And I need to go back on that video and write down if I did that. But what I wanted to do, which is stupid that I didn't do, I just got busy or I got overwhelmed or something. I wanted to post a video of me finishing each quilt every month. Love the curtains. Thank you for sharing. Wendy is making a rag quilt for a baby cousin. I love that. I love that. So I wanted to make a video every month of a project that I finished. I don't think but I did finish a lot of them. As a matter of fact, let me go get my thing and see what, because I had them in baskets. I think I got, like, all excited about, oh my God, I'm gonna be making these 86 by 86 quilts and I'm gonna be giving them away, and I went crazy there. And I think I bought 48 quilts and gave away 24 of those quilts. So I still have a lot. I stopped looking on that website because I want to buy. Because if I see something I like, I want it. All right, let me see in the back bin to see what quilts I haven't done. I know. I totally get it. But there will be a time where, and I think it hit me, that's why I started doing the 24-hour live long arm quilting days. There was, and I shared this. That's exciting, Lori. Hold on. I'm going to share that. She had, I think I bought probably 10 quilt tops from her for $10 each. And I was kind of I think I quilted maybe 2 or 3. I don't think she could afford long arm quilting, but she loved making quilt tops. and I saw that her daughter was selling the fabric. She was selling these big giant boxes of fabric for 10 bucks, which was crazy to me because I know her mother used a lot of her income for the fabric. Anyway, and knowing that she passed away and she left behind so many quilts made me kind of think about myself, because at the current time I probably had 25, maybe 30. I still think I have like a lot of quilts that are not finished, like, you know, but anyway, so that's why I did the 24-hour live, so I could get mine done and I could get hers done. And I gave hers away to a whole bunch of people. I think I gave one to a TikTok girl who has cerebral palsy to get her a van. I went and and she sold one of the quilts that was beautiful that this lady made for, I think, $1,000. And what else? And so it kind of like, I think my kids are going to be like her, just sell the crap and get rid of it. Maybe the machines, they'll sell them. Maybe they'll keep them, I don't know. But anyway, that's why I decided to do the 24-hour lives. And I really am happy about that because I got a lot of my quilts done. So let me show you what I still need to finish. Hold on, let me move you here. And let me look at the long arm. I should be paying attention to my job. Let me see, I had a bin that had, can I even go back here? Where I had quilt tops that I need to get done. And I guess if you don't see it, you don't think you need to do it. Hold on, little long arm. Let me see if I can find it. Come on, little long arm, go forward so I can get back here. Don't crush me. All right, let's see. I had a bin. Maybe I should do a video on what I did do in 2025. Okay. Nope, nope, nope. Hold on, let's see. I'm grabbing the bin, okay. Okay, yes, I found it's a full bin. It's a very heavy bin. Oh. Let me get back on the other side. So, and I'm gonna move you here. So you can see me. Hold on, okay? I'm getting projects. I didn't think that through, Lorena. Okay. Hold on, one more stretch. I got it. Hold on, let me go around. Let me go around. Let me go around. I didn't think it was this heavy. Do not crush me. Oh my God, it is so heavy. Okay, But I have a lot of stuff ready for it, like back fabric. All right. So I did a challenge last year and I showcased all the quilts. So I'm not going to be opening all the quilts. Yes, my machine is unleveled. It's not my machine. My floor is unleveled. So my floor, my floor this way is perfectly level, but for some reason I think it bows down like slightly. So anyway, yeah, my floor is not level. It's not my machine. And there's no way, because I was thinking of putting like a piece of wood, but I have hydraulics on the machine, so the hydraulics go all, they all level, they all rise at the same time. I can't get one to rise and one to rise lower or shorter, so it's just, yeah. But it is, it's my floor. It's not the machine itself. My machine is perfectly fine. It's just where I have it sitting on the floor. I think if I move it forward more, it would be, the floor is level. But I really do like how spacious. When we did the 24-hour live, it was so spacious. So, okay, one of the quilts that I didn't finish, it's the wolf. The wolf. But I do have all the back fabric for it. And I believe I bought all the, is it the wolf or the fox? This one. I didn't do nothing with it. What I was on Procreate, and I was quilting, drawing different designs that I would put on here. Anyway, what was the thread? Oh, okay, I'll show you that. It's my invention. That's what it is. I used to have a bobbin thread drawer. And, ooh, I've only not long arm 4 from last year. Aha! Okay, so this one I did a video on years ago. I think this quilt is so pretty. I'll show you the spools in a second. I didn't do the ones I want to custom quilt. So this is one of them. I did a video on all the blocks, and I even think I showed the pattern in the videos. I did these in 2018. That's how old this thing is. I love batik. I did a video, I believe, on these blocks. And these are key blocks. Key blocks. I did a video on all of them. Anyway, and I think I have a pattern of how beautiful this is. But I didn't do this one. Then, oh, this is beautiful. I did a video on this one, and I did a pattern too. And this is my pattern that I created. All of these, except the wolf, is. And I haven't seen this in forever. This is a beautiful quilt. Isn't it beautiful? I did a pattern of this one. I do have the back. I have the back fabric for all of these, girl. These are applique on. And I did a video on how I did the applique. Look how beautiful. I think this was 2008 also. You go, girl. 2008, you were going. Hold on a sec. And then the last one. I'm just going to show one more. That's crazy, Lorena. Okay. So I went to A&M University here in San Antonio, and I made a drawing or a raffle of this quilt, and I custom quilted it, and I donated it to the university. And so this used to be their old logo. And I graduated in 2015 with my bachelor's. And I just learned so much. It was such a great, it was a hard, really hard time financially for me. But you know what? I got my degree because of that. Now, have I used it? No, but I have it. So those are the 4 projects I did not finish that I wanted to finish in 2025. I think I finished everything else because everything else I just decided to quilt it on the long arm and not custom quilt it. So let me put some stuff away and I want to show you the beautiful quilt, and then I'll show you what's on those spools, okay? Just give me a second. I'm going to move you here so the camera kind of follows me around a little bit. See, it follows me? It looks like someone's with me, right? Is it going to do its job or is it not going to do its job? Hold on. Hi there. Come on. So let me move this and put it away. So what you see on the threads, it's called, well, I made these, okay? I created these. I have a video. It's not following me, so it looks stupid. I have a video on how you can make them yourself. But what I ended up doing is I lasered these little circles, and these are dowels. So, but you can make them yourself, okay? But I created this idea. This was mine, because there's a couple long armers out there, or people who are on this platform who said they were going to steal my idea. Anyway, but this is my idea. So this one I put a magnet on. It's just I lasered this, and I put my initials with a thread or a laser thing, and I glued the dowel. And what's neat about this, let me move you to this camera. I could literally put the magnet on the frame, and the bobbins that I'm working on currently, I will stack them on these. Stack them on these. Now, they have that function, and then hold on, let me get a thread spool. So today I long armed, and what I had a mess. Yeah, this works. I used to have a drawer of a whole bunch of bobbins that have already been wound. So I have these that are wound. So if you see a little stick on those thread spools, it means it has a bobbins that have been wound. And if I look over to any of those spools that don't have one of these, and it'll look like this. And this is what it is. I was going to sell these, but I don't even know if people would be interested in selling. So it goes, here's my bobbins that are wound. It goes in here. And then I have a cap for it. And so now it's the bobbins that are inside, they don't unthread. You don't have a messy drawer of a whole bunch of bobbins that I used to have. I still have a messy drawer. But what I did is I made a whole bunch of this, like a whole case of them. And I think I did a video on them, and I was going to share it, but I haven't edited it. And I get all the bobbins that match this color, and then I hang it on, or I land it on those are IKEA shelves that I bought at IKEA. And they were like only $6 each one, the shelves. And I had my son place them, and people, there's a thing, man. Everything's a thing. Well, you better not have your threads outside because they're going to go, they're going to rot. That's not true. Thread does not rot. What thread does, it does dry out. It does dry. But if you put like a little drop of oil, and I've talked about this, and now Linda's Electric Quilting has a thread conditioner. There's no such thing as thread conditioner. Anyway, you could get like your regular sewing oil, and I use all my threads, and they don't pop. My embroidery threads do. When they start going through the spool or through the embroidery system, they'll pop the thread a couple times because the top layer of the thread does dry, and embroidery thread is polyester, So it does, it pops more because it's plastic. But because this is cotton and king tut, or I have a polyester cotton blend, like I think Omni is a polyester cotton blend. I don't use a pure polyester thread for quilting at all because I feel that plastic will knife the fabric. But anyway, you can literally get, so you can have your threads out like an art piece, like, you know, and you see it and it's not in the drawer and you don't, oh, I forgot I had that. And you get a piece of oil and you just put a piece of oil down the line. And I don't have to do that with cotton or Omni thread or anything. You saw that, yes, it pops a little bit, but it's not that bad. And as it's unrolling, the thread gets oiled and moisturized. And so I do this with my embroidery thread, and it doesn't affect the quilt because as it travels down, the oil is kind of just dispersed slightly throughout the line of the thread, and you'll have less thread breaks. So you were asking me like a minute ago, hold on. You were asking me a minute ago, what are those little sticks on there? It is what holds my bobbins. I have so many bobbins, and hold on, I'll show you another thing. And like that one on the, you see one on the arm, when I'm working on a quilt top and I don't want to be traveling back and forth in here. And this also works with, let me get a regular thread. Hold on. I have a whole bunch of these. I lasered a whole bunch of them. And then I sat like one day just kind of gluing them, and just, I made a video of it too, but hold on, let me see if I can find. So let me see. So you know how you have your bobbins for your sewing machine? I'm sorry if it's not following me. All right. You know how you have your bobbins on your regular sewing machine? Regular bobbins. Hold on, let me find some, okay? Let me bring you so you can see what I'm doing. Let me bring you. And the Kia shelves were only, I think I only spent less, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe $80. I don't know now. All right, so load up. Needles. I'm like a long armer. So hold on. So this is like regular. So I even use them. You know how they're everywhere? These little things are everywhere. Everywhere. And let me find some more. And sometimes I'm like, where did I put them? Where did I have them? What did I do with them? So some of the spools have a bigger mouth opening. Let me see this. Do they? Kind of. Some spools have a bigger mouth opening, like this one. Like this one. And you could literally have it like that, or on top, or you could you can lock them in like this. Especially if you're just working, like let's say I'm working on making a quilt top, and this is the bobbins and this is the thread I'm using, and then when I'm going to like a sew group or something, I have it all together and I'm not looking for it. But ultimately you could use them however you want. There is a way where I have a magnet on some of them, and my machine is metal, and I can literally have it, oh Muncie, have it just locked in to the thing. But the reason I did this is I noticed I was digging and digging and digging in the bobbin drawer, and then I would have to organize it, and then I would be digging and digging in the bobbin drawer, and this kind of helps me for long arm quilting especially. And that, but you could use this for even, but what I did when I first thought of this is I even saw one. Where did I see one? I mean, I bought like little balls, but then the balls got in the way and you can't put as many, and I glued them to the dowel, and I cut the dowels to a certain size, and then so that's what you see if you look at the back, hold on. If you look at my back here with my threads, and you see them have sticks, and that, when I look over there and I go, okay, do I need to wind a bobbin for that quilt that my client needs? I know that anything that has a stick with a little cover on it, that it has a bobbin. As a matter of fact, like this bobbin right now, hold on, let me see. Oh, is it out of thread already? Oh yeah, it is out of thread. Oh, I thought it was done, girl. Nope, hold on one second. I thought it was done. I was gonna take it apart. Thank God I didn't do that. So, let me see. Put this back in, let it long arm, the last bit that it needs to long arm. And then I'll show you the quilt because it's beautiful. And then I need to trim it for her. There you are. Pull the thread on and off. Okay. So that's what those little sticks are. A content creator here was going to steal my idea. I had to email her. Like, I couldn't believe it. She used to be my client. Can you imagine one of your clients wanting to steal your idea? It's like, oh, it is done. Haha, really? No, I don't think you're done, girl. Hold on. Let me see. Let me get my glasses. It says it's done, but it's not. Okay, no, you're not done, liar. Liar. No, mana. That's not what I want. All right, let me see. I think it just needs to quilt like one more thing. Let me move it. Right here, baby girl. What happened? Hold on one second. I'm so sorry, guys. I hate, like, wasting y'all's time. But I guess it's not if you get to see me struggle. Hold on, I'm gonna move you, okay? I should sell them. All right, how should I sell them? Give me counsel. Like, oop, how would I price it? Sorry, it went black. I was thinking that since I did my logo on mine, I thought it would be neat, like, for me to do them. Let's see. Now it's working. There you go. Now you're focused. And now, yeah, you know how it slides back? Yeah. It's not my table. It's not the long arm. It's my floor. And it's annoying. I wanted to make a magnet that would lock the machine in. Hold on, let me see. But I love it gives me a whole lot more space. Because almost like the long arm is on one side of the room. And then come on. Come on. You see me, it has lint on the bobbin. All right, let's go here. New. One more. Got it. I want you to be over here, lady. Please listen to me, lady. Let me find out listen to me. Forward. Okay. Somehow it's messed up. Hold on. Let me move this. I'm sorry. The alignment's messed up. Back. Back. Is that back? Sorry, I'm trying to find placement. How annoying, huh? Yeah, I wanted to sew them. I thought it'd be... There you are. There you are, beautiful thread. Just the last little loop. Last little. And then I'm going to show you how beautiful this quilt is. How exciting. Girl, I got it done. I'm like, my client wants to meet me at 1:30. It's 1:25. It's fine. Okay. Yes. No. It's 1:25, and she said she's gonna have a doctor's appointment. Hold on, let me see. Let me turn you this way. Hello. How you doing? I never leave the long arm empty, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this off. Hold on one second. Lump, lump, lump. Let's see. And then this, and then I'm gonna unroll it so you can see it unrolled. She's gonna look beautiful. Oh my God, it's gonna be lovely. But okay, so I love the idea, oil idea. Yes, and then I know some people from Electric Quilting watch me, because all of a sudden they came out with a thread conditioner. I wonder what that conditioner has inside of it. And the only reason I know is because when I used to do embroidery, the thread would always be popping on me. So I learned that the top layer was brittle. And if I would oil it, the quilt top would stop, or the thread would stop breaking. And I also learned that as it's winding through the machine, or as it's winding throughout the spool, the bottom layers of the thread, hold on one second, the bottom layers of the thread are not brittle. And so when someone says, you know what, your thread is old, yes, your thread may be old and it may be brittle, but if you oil it, and if it's a cotton thread, even a polyester thread, man, it responds to it. And I've had embroidery thread since 2002. And if you watch some of my embroidery videos that I've posted, you can see that I have them out. I have them out in open air. Hold on, let's see. I have them in open spaces. I think I got, and I have a friend, or was a friend, she was a friend, that she has all her stupid threads in a drawer. And that drawers take a lot of space. And I found that having that thread system, it's backwards, it doesn't take any space at all. It doesn't affect the space at all. And I think quilters need space. Wait, hold on. No, okay. They need the space because you have fabric and you have batting and you have quilt projects and you have containers for everything. And the last thing you need to do is have containers for your thread. Or and I recommend, I got those from IKEA, the shelves. And I think at one time they were only, the smaller ones are only $6. $6. But I have my embroidery thread all out in the open air. And initially when I start working on a job, if the thread starts to, I'm going to just quilt some random quilt on this one. Look how bad the back is right now. Wow. Don't put a quilt on there, Lorena, until you fix that. I have to tell myself stuff like that. I think I need this one. No, I'm going to just put a pretty quilt on here, not because I'm going to quilt it. I'm going to probably quilt a whole bunch of baby quilts on this. I have a bin or a container full of baby quilts. Let me see. But I want my long arm room to look pretty. And then when my clients come in here, they see like a beautiful quilt. They're like, oh. And I'm like, I know. So I never leave my long arm without something on it. And then when I come up here, I already have at least a quilt set up or ready to kind of work. So let me show you her quilt, because I think her quilt's so pretty. I need to trim her, and then I need to look at, like, check all the threads. Oh wait, here. Look how beautiful she is. That is such a pretty quilt, right? Hold on, let me get a better, I'm gonna throw her on here. She's so pretty. She was like a lot of work. Well, what did I plan? I got here at 10. Beautiful. Let me move the camera so you can see it. I could put them on Etsy. Thank you for saying it's an excellent idea. The lady who wanted to steal my idea thought so too. I had to email her, you better not, because I made a video on it. And so apparently when you make a video of something, that's a way like having a weird copyright. All right, hold on. Look how beautiful. Hold on, let me put her. Don't look, it's my mess. She is beautiful. She's so pretty. She's so pretty. Thank you for being with me. Seriously, I didn't want to work today, and you guys being with me has been a blessing. I'm real thankful for y'all. I don't know, do y'all want to see me trim? That's boring. But I'm going to let you go, okay? I love you, and I thank you for giving me your time. Message me on Lorena's Quilting Facebook group if you want. You can message me here, and you can comment. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. I really do want to grow this channel. I was thinking of leaving this channel and start working on my laser channel and kind of abandon this one. But nah, I'm going to just be faithful and continue. But there was a thought, maybe I should leave that channel. But anyway, I appreciate you. I love you. I'm going to still be here. Okay, I promise I'm not leaving. But thank you for your time, and thank you for watching me screw up. This is stupid. Thank you for watching me just make a mess. I really do appreciate you. I am going to do the block swap probably in June. Either the beginning or end of June. June, July. The block swap takes about a month or two to do. And I think I already have 24 people or 36 people that are interested in doing the block swap. If you're not currently on Lorena's Quilting Facebook group, please come and join me. over there. It's easier to comment there and communicate and message like people my address or my phone number or stuff like that, especially when we're doing the block swap. But if you want to do the block swap, please send me ideas on the block you want to work on the quilt block. Do you want it to be easy, or do you want it to be a complicated block? I was doing a block with a friend and I was like, oh my God, that block was horrible hard. And so if you want to do the block swap, please let me know what style of block you want to do, what type of quilt top. Anyway, quilt block. And I may do a video on projects that I did finish and maybe showcase them and share them with you, and then kind of like goals of what I want to do this coming year. I think this year I'm not going to be doing as many giveaway. I think I was giving away about 3 to 4 quilts a month. And I think I'm kind of tired of that. I owe you, Nana, something. Hold on, let me get it. I owe you a blessing. I owe you something. I don't want to, I really want to bless you. And I love your earrings, though you don't see me wearing them. I love them. And because Nana sent me some beautiful glass earrings, or blown glass earrings. They were delicious. But I want to send you something. Maybe something laser. But I know what is it? The taxes for mail. Anyway, whatever. Okay. I thank you for being with me. I'm going to trim her. I'm going to talk to my client, see if she's ready for it after I've done trimming and cleaning it. And I'll talk to you later. Okay. Thank you for watching. Bye.